Good morning. It is August 17th. We're heading down here to Oriental, going to do an inspection on a house that is getting ready to be sold. So the home inspector came out there, and apparently the house is rather new systems. And the home inspector said there's not any issues, but the buyer had contacted us and wanted us to go do an inspection. The word is that the lady's not very happy about him getting another inspection. I don't know if there is something wrong with the unit that she's trying to hide, or she just maybe feels that her stuff is tip-top and shouldn't need another inspection. Either way, we're working for the buyer. The buyer wants us to inspect it. That's what we're going to do, regardless on the manner of how she feels or whatever. I mean, you're selling the house. He's buying the house. So I look at it like it pretty much, the house belongs to him at this point. If he's going to put the money down to buy it, and he's going to put the money up to get us to come inspect it, you know, whatever he's telling me is what's going to go. I got a code to get in, so hopefully the house is vacant and I can do my work in peace. Sometimes I go out to these places and the sellers, you know, don't really particularly like you coming out there to inspect their units. So, you know, it's just one of those things. They kind of make your life very difficult in trying to do your job. So hopefully that's not what's going to go on. I mean, you never know. You know, it's a pretty nice house. I mean, I haven't seen the house, but on my GPS, it's putting it right close to the water. So, you know, it's usually when it's usually a house on the water, it's pretty nice, especially down here in Oriental. We're pretty much at the end of the earth. But everything down here in eastern North Carolina is pretty much the end of the earth. You know, you go as far east as you can and you can't go anymore. That's where we are. But alright, so I'll let you back in when we get there. We're probably another 20 minutes or so out. Well, let's see what we got going on. Looks like we have made it to, I think this is Dolphin Road. I think this is the road we want to get on. So yeah, I mean, you got some nice places down here. A lot of these houses look like they were built in the 60s, especially that one. That looks like my nanny's old house, and that was built in the 60s. Yeah, people are just look at you weird, like, why are you down here? Why are you down here? Because I'm doing my job, sir. But yeah, so pretty nice area. There's the water out there, but it looks like we're close to the water. I'm seeing water on the GPS. So let's see what we got going on. Should be getting here very close to it. That is 34. And this is, well, that's 34 too. So this one is 36. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's not like majorly huge or anything, but it is on the water. So we're gonna check her out, see what we got. Looks like we're pretty vacant here. So let's see what we got going on. Don't want to throw the cigarette butts in the yard. Just do that, throw it in there. Let's see what we got going on. Alright, so we're holding 73. It's pretty good. It's not really hot outside yet, but that is always a good sign. So we're gonna go up here and see if they have it zoned, or it's definitely warmer up here. Oh yeah, way warmer. Okay, so this is an attic, actually. Let's see if we can find a light switch. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well, no light. It's alright. It's what's a lot warmer. Probably could have been a bonus room if they wanted to do it in. Okay. So it looks like we have an American Standard, like I figured, you know, a Train or American Standard usually. I don't know why they would have a cap on there. Probably shoot some juice through that. Looks like they've had some drain issues once before. So what we were looking at, it's an 18. So she is pretty much brand new. Does have a TXV. Can already say that. Oh, there's a platform all the way. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. This duct could stand being replaced. But other than that, it's looking good. So what we're gonna do is see if this light works. Okay. Wow. Good light, good light. Okay. Turn that back on so I can see. Don't want to go through the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank it down. I'm going to crank it down to 70. So we can have it running while we go out and do our little, so shut off. We'll put it on 70 just to have it running a little bit for us. Yeah, pretty nice view. Pretty nice view. I could dig that. Until another hurricane comes through like Florence or something. You can see a pretty good sized boat out there. So we got one return, we got two returns. We just, I think I saw only two returns on the thing. Alright, well, let's get started. Return, supply. Yeah, I know some people say, and I guess the correct way is to drill a hole in the supply and the return and go from there, but I'm not gonna drill a hole in some ducts. That's usually can be fine. Fine enough to read what I need to know. So we'll go out here and get the S-mans, throw them on the system, and start checking. Write down our information. Alright, so I got the S-mans hooked up. Right off the bat, I can tell you it's low. That is low. I mean, yeah, we're 73 inside, but subcooling's 3. So if we go around here, it's American Standard Silver Series. So if we look here, what we want a 10 degrees subcooling plus or minus 3 degrees. So first thing I do is I write down, so I got my notepad over there, I write down the information, and then I will write down what the compressor and the condenser motor wants, what's the actual amps, yada yada yada, and just kind of try to do a good job for the inspection. Oh, almost tripped. Defrost control. Doesn't look too terribly bad, you know. I don't like how Train does this right here. Wish they just went straight into the lugs, but we're low, so hopefully she don't have a leak. Ooh, I might have to do a leak search. So like I was saying, I write down what it is, the model and the serial number, and I give this to the boss, and then he cleans it up and then sends it back out to him. What refrigerant, how much it holds, what is our subcooling, and then our run load, our full load, and then I put the actual amps for both of those down there, and then I will put pressures, ambient temperature outside, temperatures inside, the split, and then I will put on there that we are low on our subcooling. So our subcooling is 2.4 degrees, so pretty low, not very good. So we're going to check our compressor. This meter will act right. I've had this meter for a while, so it's time to probably upgrade it. It's not even wanting to come on. A few moments later. So after some, you know, trying to get her to come on, we are running 9.79, 9.8. Give this a second to level out a little bit. I'm going to put on there 9.8. That's what we're going to do with that. So now let's go in here and 9.8. Just trying really hard to write and film and everything. So that's 9.8 amps. It's pretty terrible, but nonetheless, we put it on there. I mean, the amps aren't bad. It's looking pretty good. And we're running right at full load. A little bit over. .4. It's already hot out here. So then we will now do our ambient and our pressures and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and do all this stuff because it's really hot and I want to get this done so we can get back inside. Well, the thing's kind of all over the place, but we definitely have either a leak or it wasn't correctly charged. But we're just doing an inspection, and I'm going to tell him what I found, and he'll probably have us come back to look for it. But at 9.5 split, 9.6, I mean, that's terrible. You know, I mean, our supplied temperature should be 53, so we're like 10 degrees above. We're getting a black flag. Section line temperature is too high. Sensible capacity is below 90%. Potential return air duct leak. Energized heat strip. Well, that's not really the case up there. I've looked at the design of the duct. System may be undercharged, or TXV bulb lost charge, or plug is stuck closed. I don't think it's our TXV. If I had to put money on it, it's undercharged with refrigerant, just by looking at that subcooling. I mean, we want a 10 plus or minus 3 degrees, and we're steady at like 2. So maybe that's why she didn't want us to come out here and to look at it, because it's totally, you know, I was thinking, why do I need to write all that stuff down when I could just have it all in here? You know, I can make a profile and send it to him. Just the boss isn't very up to date as far as when it comes to stuff like that. But look at our capacities. I mean, it's terrible. It needs to be charged up. So let me call my dad and tell him what I found, and then we go from there. Alright, Alright, after talking to the boss and talking to the buyer, what we're going to do is we're going to just, you know, hunt around real quick up in the coil for a leak. You know, I don't, like I said, we changed a 2019 aluminum coil out that was leaking. I don't know if these aluminum coils are starting to suck. I mean, we're starting to find out here, you know, because some of them have been installed for 5, 6, 10 years or whatnot. Maybe we're just starting to find out about these aluminum coils. I don't know, I thought they were the bee's knees, but apparently they might not be. But there's no doubt that we have a leak, so he said go ahead and charge it and see if I can find a leak. And then, you know, we'll give them the information and then go from there. Alright, so we're heading in the right direction. We got a 12.5 now, 59.5. We still are low on our subcooling. I've added like 1 pound 5 ounces, so there's no doubt that we have a leak going on here. I'm gonna have to locate that leak. So we'll let this thing level out and we'll go search for our leak. I got my UEI heated diode. Always like to test it first, make sure it works. Come on. There we are. So we know we're working. Still got some on the tip. These things are so sensitive, it's not even funny. So just let it heat up. Okay, we're already getting a hit. We're already getting a hit. We're getting a 5. We're getting a 2. Can't even get close to this thing without getting a hit. Yeah, it's got a leak in the coil. Another one bites the dust, so we'll go ahead and get the model and serial number of the coil. See about ordering a new one. Okay, so I guess I had figured out why she didn't want to get an inspection. I'm assuming she had somebody come over here and put some refrigerant in it. But we're getting pretty strong leaks upstairs. Getting like 5s, 3s and stuff. That's a pretty good leak. I have had some refrigerant to the system, but all in all they're gonna have to get a new coil to replace the coil upstairs. So it is under warranty, so that's a plus. But yeah, that kind of sucks. It's 2018 and she's leaking. So I mean, if I only had to add like, you know, 5 or 6 ounces, I wouldn't have said that was leaking. I'd have said it was probably not correctly charged when they put it in. But if I'm adding anywhere over a pound, which I have, then I know that's a leak. Especially if, I mean, it was like 2 pounds I put in there to get it up to like a 7 degree. So we want that 10 plus or minus 3. And I didn't see the point in adding a whole bunch until I know exactly where the leak is and what it's leaking. So it's a pretty good leak, so I'm not going to even add any more to it. But it's doing a whole bunch better. We got the split up to like 17. So still room to improve, but we need to fix that coil. So it's going to be a he said, she said type deal. That's kind of why I also filmed these, so I have proof, you know, if the customer so chooses to look at it. But we're heading to another one down here in Oriental. It's a 210 home warranty, sure what the issue is over there, but we'll figure it out. So this one is squared away, but all the other data looked great. Just you know, she's got that leak in that condenser fan motor. It was pulling a point over, which I ain't really too worried about, but that is considered overamping. So, you know, I'll monitor that and check that when I come back and do this coil, if they have me do it. But I have all the data written down so they can see what it should be and what it is and everything else. So, on to the next one.